All right, Coach Beckton's here. Talk a little tight ends. Let's open it up. Parker Gabriel, Lincoln Journal-Star.
Hey Sean, how nice was it to get Jack back as quickly as you did? Obviously, he didn't play a lot against Penn State, but just to get him back on the field for a few snaps at least.
Well, he's the core of our tight end room. He's the leader of the room, and obviously he gave us a spark. Had a big block on that long touchdown catch for Xavier Betts. He's worked extremely hard to get back. I knew I was going to play him a little bit limited, throughout that game, and he came in and gave us 4 snaps, really good quality snaps there, and he's early this week he's done well. He started to progress back to take some of his normal reps in practice. Last week we just gave him a few just to try to build him up and get him ready to go, and we're just going to try to accelerate that this week with him and see how it goes throughout the rest of the week.
That look with the fly sweep to Xavier, was that one of the reps that you gave Jack, that specific play in practice, or was it not that specific?
No, we give all the guys pretty much equal reps throughout practice. Certain plays like that, obviously I try to make sure everyone is getting those live reps throughout the week and throughout a day. So those guys are really sharp on that particular play versus all the different looks. But it just so happened that he was in on that one along with Travis Vokalak, and they did a great job there.
Brian Christopherson, 24/7 Sports.
Hey, Sean, it feels like Austin Allen's role has really grown this year, and there's a lot of faith in him. What's the biggest difference right now where he's at maybe when you first got here?
Well, he's worked extremely hard on overall development, mentally, physically, with the game of football. He's increased his speed and increased his size and his strength, and it's carried over to him being more confident in what he's doing on the football field. And he's playing at a high level. He's really done some really good things for us this year, and he's going to continue to do that this year. He has emerged as one of the guys that the quarterbacks really look for downfield, and he's made some really nice plays vertically for us, and also in-line blocking. He's done a tremendous job of understanding what's going on there with defensive fronts and being able to maneuver and adjust there with some physicality.
Thanks, Sean.
Mm-hmm.
Steve Sipple, Lincoln Journal-Star.
Hi, Coach. I wanted to go back a little bit to that Penn State game. What did you think as you watched Penn State's defense in preparation, and then what you saw on Saturday? What were your impressions of their defense?
Well, I thought their front seven was better than Ohio State athletically. I thought they moved extremely well at the defensive end spots. I thought they gave us a lot of different looks, as far as speed and being able to play a little bit more of a finesse, backdoors. So we had to be really solid in what we're doing as far as executing up front. We shortened our footwork all week trying to prepare for those guys, the way they moved and stunted, and how quick those defensive ends were. And then the linebackers, being able to block those guys out of space. We used, some smaller guys and quicker guys to get the speed for us to be able to execute. But they're really talented up front.
How much does it benefit you having seen 3 really good defenses right off the bat?
Well, it gives us a little bit of confidence that we, obviously we still hadn't put together an entire game, offensively. We're building towards working those kinks out, and, some of the things that we're trying to do differently to get those guys to finish games. But, obviously the confidence, being able to face, some of the top defenses in the league early on, and looking at Illinois, I know their stats don't say it, but they're very talented also, so we're just trying to progress every week and trying to get better. We wanted to finish that game off a lot better than we did last week, and our goal this week is to do better, coming out the tunnel like we did this past week, and then second half, sustaining drives throughout the entire game.
very much, Coach.
Two more for Coach. Mitch Sherman, The Athletic.
Hey, Sean, I know you work with Coach Rutledge on special teams and implementing some of the stuff that he's working on. What'd you think about the performance against Penn State and how some of those things factored into the game?
Well, we've progressively gotten better as the season's gone on, particularly punt return and then our punt. We gave up one long one there because of placement of the punt. So we're working on that, with the punter. He did a good job, early on in the game, and then, one punt was down the middle. So we're trying to work our coverage lanes out to be, a lot better and trying to be more physical at the point of attack and everything that we're doing on punt. Kickoff was they played probably the best we've had in years here at Nebraska. And the other phases are increasingly improving daily. Kickoff return last week, we didn't get very many because their kickoff guy was, kicking it out of the end zone. But we worked extremely hard in that phase also. We knew we weren't going to get very many. So as the schedule goes forward, we're just going to continue to work to improve in all facets of our special teams.
All right, last one for Coach Beckton. Back to Parker Gabriel, Journal-Star.
Hey, Sean, a recruiting question for you. I know there's been a lot made of the dead period and its impact on the 2021 class, but how do you think it's going to impact the 2022s? I know you don't know when you're going to be able to get people on campus or anything like that, but is there a chance that it'll slow down the 22 class, which is sort of would be the opposite, the way it's sped up decision-making in the 21 class?
Well, I think it's going to be a progression just like the 21 class. Those kids going to make the adjustment, and we've already made the adjustments, doing more recruiting as far as Zooms, bringing Nebraska football into homes, our everyday things that we do. We're trying to, on Sundays, it's been a really, really big recruiting day for our Zooms, presentations that we've done, and we're trying to spread them all out, facility tours, campus tours, football, all those different things like they were here on campus. So we're trying to make the adjustment. The kids are making the adjustment. I think what's going to end up happening here after this first signing period, you're going to see some of the 22s starting to select their universities that they want to attend, and it's just going to snowball from there.
And has the dead period been long enough now where do you still feel good about in-person evaluations that you as a staff have had on 22 guys, or is it getting harder to have a board for the 22 class and beyond the longer it's been since you've seen guys in person?
Yeah, it's tricky. That's a tricky situation for all of us. We're just trying to evaluate more. Instead of highlights, we're evaluating full game films since we can't get out. The 22 kids, we have our guys that we've offered, and we're actually going back and looking at some of their game film throughout the year and see how they've progressed. And we feel that guys, haven't progressed. Obviously we're going to put a star by them, but a lot of the guys that we've looked at, we've seen those guys, really improve, from the beginning of the season to the end.
All right, thank you, Coach. Short break and we'll have players. I think we'll have one of Coach Beckton's guys, Austin Allen, here in just a minute.